Well, the reason, the best I can tell you, is just to demonstrate physical fitness through running to people through this 24-hour relay, that you have to be in condition in order to do it. And we feel that other people might take up running or jogging or walking in order to maintain their own physical fitness.
You have all ages represented here, don't you?
Yes, I'm probably the oldest member of my team, and Tanya Trantham here is the youngest. She's in the 8th grade. How old are you, Tanya?
13. I also noticed, Tanya, you're the only female that's running here today. How come?
I don't know. I guess all the others just didn't have enough guts to do it.
And you do. Did you keep up with the big guys?
Yes, as much as I could.
You ran at night and everything?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you run at night? Did you turn the lights on?
There wasn't any lights at all.
Just ran in the moonlight.
So lantern, that was about it.
Come on,
This looks like it's going to be yet another chapter in a series of confrontations between target area members and city and county representatives on the DCCAC board. For the past several meetings now, there's been a move to ouster 7 city and county representatives. At the last meeting on a Thursday night a couple of weeks ago, they were voted into suspension, but the target area members were overruled on OEO guidelines that a proper quorum wasn't present. However, there was another motion that was passed, one that forced the 7 city and county representatives to defend their qualifications before a full meeting of the board. That's what's supposed to take place on this Sunday afternoon.
It is regrettable that again we do not have a quorum. This is due to the lack of cooperation from the government sector on the board. They refuse to carry on the business of this agency, and when the target area representatives attempt to do this, they do all in their power to have it ruled illegal.
At least one county representative on the board disagrees with Francis Arredondo. Ole Anthony.
Why? Well, I don't believe that it'll serve any purpose at this juncture in our DCCA history to start pointing fingers at any of the sectors. A quorum could have been present if, for instance, all the target area members had been there. So it's really a delinquency on a number of people's part, not just the city-county sector. The reason we haven't had the board members or the board meetings as of late. And I'd just like to urge that we all board members and all citizens of the community begin to stop worrying about little petty personality problems or about where we're going to meet or other problems that seem rather petty when we look at the real needs and the real benefits that can accrue from this program.
The meeting lasted only a matter of minutes, and what it has done is to set up a confrontation for next Thursday night. While Francis Arredondo, the acting president of the board, called for a meeting at the West Dallas Center, George Zimmerman has also called for a meeting at the library across from City Hall at the same time next Thursday evening. We'll have to wait and see now which one wins out, target area or city and county representatives, in this latest confrontation of the DCCAC. My name's Harris, Channel 8 News.
I wouldn't like it.
Oh, why not?
Too many hours.
You mean you have to work too many hours in the 4 days?
Yeah, sure do.
How many hours a day do you have to work now?
Well, we're supposed to work 8.
what we found was something that is an everyday occurrence nearly in a lot of houses, where an electric stove is used for cooking, and inadvertently the housewife or whoever's doing the cooking leaves the pan on the burner, and all of a sudden it melts, flames up, and the house is gone. This is about the 9th occurrence that I've had in the last 3 years on investigation and finding this. We have some pictures that were made at the fire. The top picture here will show the stove in place with the melted down pot over the burner. The second picture is from a distance, which shows the intense heat of the fire as it's generated. This is actually the center of the fire in this picture. And all fire for the entire area led from this one area. So we feel that without a doubt, and it's been verified by all these outside people who the insurance companies have hired to come in here, that the fire actually started in this location. It was not set, it was not arson.
While attorneys ponder Dallas's new school busing plan, 7,000 Dallas school children are sitting at home this evening wondering about that plan. It calls for 84 city buses to carry the children to different schools. Parents are still puzzling over a complicated pickup and delivery system and are keeping phones busy at the school system's Desegregation Information Center. Most are worried that pickup at elementary schools means their grade school kids are going to be bused. This is not the case, but schools are opening at different times this year, and parents need to call local principals for that information. Those principals, by the way, have authority this year for the first time over dress and grooming codes. They can veto styles they think are disruptive. A different kind of disruption is on the minds of Dallas police. Police have manned their own information center, and they've beefed up the force for tomorrow just in case. They say they're not expecting trouble, but they want to be ready if anything happens. Anti-busing groups say nothing will. Meanwhile, 7,000 school children are sitting at home, wondering. This is Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News on the Move.
Last year, the Texas Aggies had a disastrous season. They were 2-9, winning their first 2 games, losing their final 9, and they were 0-7 in Southwest Conference competition. The pressure is on head coach Gene Stallings. He has a lot of returning lettermen, but he still has some problems. He talks first about his offense.
Well, Jerry, we've got to make a lot of strides in that particular phase of our game. Last year, I felt like we protected the passer very poorly, and we blocked the running game very poorly. The number one objective this spring and also the early fall was to improve our offensive line, which I think we've done. We have a couple of players that we really need that are injured right now. Ralph Saker really needs to work at right tackle, and Butch Camps really needs to work at left guard. Neither one of them are able to take part because of some little freakish injuries in practice. If we had them well, along with the people that are backing them up, I think our offensive line will be all right, and that's the key to your offense. Quarterback naturally determines whether or not you move the ball consistently or not. Lex James, who had hepatitis last spring, jammed his thumb.
How are you feeling physically?
Real well. I had a little bout with hepatitis last spring, and I've recuperated it from it totally. I feel real good.
Are there any changes in the offense for the season?
It's a more simplified offense than last year. I thought I'd be a lot further behind with missing spring training last year, but I'm glad to see that I'm not.
With Green and Tremere on your heels, do you think this will make you a better quarterback?
Right, we've got some fine sophomore quarterbacks coming up. Mark Green, 6'3", 220, and Tim Tremere, he's about 6'4", 200. Fine set of quarterbacks. They impressed me a lot. They've made me think a lot harder, work a lot harder than I have been. And also with Joe Mack, he played second string last year. He's a real fine quarterback. Got a fine release, quick arm, and they put a lot of pressure on him.
How do you feel about Homer May as a tight end?
Well, he's a super player. Yeah, Homer May's got everything you want. He's got size, he catches, he blocks. He's one of the first ones out to practice, and you'd be very fortunate to have 2 or 3 of those. I just hope I can better the year I had last year. That's all I can say right now.
And what areas have you worked on improving yourself at tight end?
Probably the biggest area I've really worked on most has been pass receiving. Blocking. My pass receiving was good last year, but my blocking was just bad at the start of the year. And I've probably worked more on blocking than anything else since last year in spring too.
And your defense, please.
Jerry should be improved. We weren't good defensively last year at all. Boyce Best, for example, just had an outstanding early fall practice. Secondary is breaking for the ball better. I moved Brad Dusick to free safety from fullback. If we had Dennis Caruth of Dallas Points, who broke his leg last spring, real quality player, he hadn't been able to practice yet, and you need those kind of people.
The Aggies play a couple of tough intersectional opponents this year. They meet LSU, and they also play Nebraska, ranked #1 in many preseason polls. So they'll have their work cut out for them in their intersectional schedule, and once again they face a tough conference lineup. This is Jerry Haynes for Channel 8 Sports.